All right, now it is time for our 12
Queen.
flag raiser. She was the first overall pick in the 2002 NBA draft. 13 All-Star appearances, 4-time NBA champion, winningest player in the WNBA, all-time assist leader in the WNBA. You guys give it up one time for Sue Bird.
Hey.
Sue, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for joining us here. You've done so much in your career. We're around the same age, so the first thing I want to ask you, like, how did you do it for so long, man? Like, what's your regimen like? How did you just take care of your body to allow you to play for so long?
All the things. The eating, the sleeping, the working out. I joke as I went through my career, like, I got older, all the players kind of stayed the same age, but they kept me young.
Yeah.
So you're playing with, 25-year-olds, they keep you young. So that was a key to the whole recipe.
Awesome.
It is pretty amazing when you're 41. It's on Wikipedia, so I can say that without
I'm proud.
But look, Roger Federer just announced his retirement. Serena Williams, you got a guy named Tom Brady in his 40s. I mean, it's kind of the new norm. By the way, she's also, I think she's the first person to be up here twice as a 12-man flag raiser. Who's not a part of the Seahawks organizations. Congratulations there.
Thank you.
But back to just being in the 40s. I mean, what's going on there? Is that going to be what we're going to see for the rest of our lives now?
I think so. It happened later in my career, but I think there's so much more of an emphasis on taking care of yourself, on being smart. I feel like when I was growing up, it was like, play through it. Who cares if you're hurt? We need you for this game.
Right.
And now we're starting to realize, like, even if I just take 1 week off, it'll help me. Imagine if I take care of my body, like I said, the eating and the sleeping, all the things. I feel like 40 is the new 30 for sure.
Let's go.
Hey, well, it's really awesome to see you here today. Jenny Busick was a good friend of mine, and so got to come watch you guys practice a little bit from time to time. But you have always been involved in all aspects of being a professional athlete, not just the things on the court, but the things that interest you off the court. What would be your message to athletes of today about how to embrace their athletic journey, but also have interest in and a voice in the things they care about in the world?
I feel like the biggest piece of advice is you're not always going to just be able to identify what you're most passionate about. So kind of take your time, see what speaks to you. And then the minute you find that one thing, two things, three things, get as knowledgeable as possible. Right? So that is how you can get up stage on an interview and have somebody ask you questions and you feel comfortable talking about these things. And then from there, I think like authenticity is really important. Just kind of being true to yourself, who you are. I think people are drawn to that in a lot of ways. When you show up and you just are who you are and they know what to expect from you, I think there's something really nice about that. So that would be my little pieces of advice.
Cool.
You've had such an impact on, the WNBA, this Seattle town, and all the young ladies who are coming up after you and looking up to you as an example of somebody they, want to be one day. So what does that mean to you to be able to set that example?
That's everything. Because growing up for me, there was no WNBA. It was like the Olympics was the ultimate goal, and that's like 12 people every 4 years get to achieve that. So it's kind of like a ridiculous goal to have as it is as a, 12-year-old. So the fact that I can be somebody that a young girl can look up to and try to emulate or model, right? That journey, that path. Same thing with little boys. They can now see women in the professional ranks, and that becomes part of the norm. Like for me growing up, I remember having to argue with my guy friends, them being like, I don't think the WNBA is going to last. And I'm like, no, I really think it is. I swear. And so now you fast forward 20 plus years, and here we are. And there's a 10-year-old boy out there who just knows it. It's just part of his everyday life because it's been existing now. So it's really special that I've been able to be a part of that and able to help it grow.
Yes, it's hard enough to win one championship, right? But you got 4.
Yeah.
You got 4 championships. So does one stand out as being the most special, or just kind of take us inside the world of winning 4 championships?
Yeah. Well, sometimes I joke, like, I played, it's like 20-ish years. I was hurt a couple years, details. But I basically played 20 years, let's call it. So that means I lost 16 times.
Okay, fair.
So 4 is amazing, but sometimes I'm like, it could have been 5, 6, 7. But you're asking me to pick a favorite, and the truth is it's hard. It's like picking your favorite child. I'm assuming that's what that's like. But I have to say the 2018 championship was pretty special because we had gone through a rebuild. And anyone who has been on a pro team, when you go through a rebuild, you have no idea when you're getting to the other side. And we started the rebuild in 2014, and you fast forward 4 years, and we got there. I never thought we were going to make the playoffs. I thought I was going to retire and never make the playoffs again. So to win that championship, I think we'll always kind of have like a little bit of an edge.
Well, let me in on the secret. I got 3 kids. I kind of got a favorite.
Okay.
I kind of got a favorite. But what's next for you? Something tells me you're not the type just to sit down, relax, watch sports all day, and just chill. You got a spirit and an energy about you. What's next for you?
Well, I've been doing that for the last 3 weeks. Ever since the season ended, I've definitely been doing just that. Literally nothing. It's been so nice. But I have a couple things that are kind of in the works. One was actually announced a couple months ago now. I'm going to do a Peyton's Places for college basketball, so I'm excited about that. I kind of like the whole TV, gig thing, whether it's in front of the camera like this or behind the camera and like production. That kind of speaks to me. I'm actually already part of a production company called Together. So there's things like in the motion, but nothing that's too stressful right now. So I'm just going to take my time the next year and see what comes up.
Right.
Well, I say you're old hat at this. Your second time raising the 12th flag.
Yeah.
What is it with the connection here in Seattle? I mean, is Seattle going to be a part of your future as well?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. I will always keep a home here. And it's funny because I feel like, and you guys probably know too, it's like a lot of athletes who played here end up living here.
Yeah.
There's even like NBA guys. The Sonics don't even exist right now. Right now. They will be here eventually. And they live here, So there is something special, I think, about the way this city embraces its athletes, the way they embrace their teams, the way they show up. Even something like Blue Friday, that doesn't exist everywhere else. No. This is something really, really cool, the connection you have with the fan base. So that's what's made it, all the more enjoyable for me, and I will definitely keep a home here.
Well, you're amazing. I mean, they're talking about the Mount Rushmore, Ken Griffey Jr., Sue Bird. You are really special in the Northwest. So congratulations, just an unbelievable career.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Is there I'm curious because we a lot of the greats talk about this, particularly in basketball, and some of the great defenders that you had to go up against. Yeah. Nobody can guard you, huh? But
I didn't say that. I'm not the great defender.
Oh, okay. No, are there some players that you played against that, over the course of your career you say, man, pretty tough?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Actually, the one that comes to mind is Breon January. She just played for the Storm this past year. She's from Spokane.
Okay.
So she's kind of a local-ish product.
Compton.
Yeah, exactly. She's by far one of the toughest, by far. I think her dad is some sort of karate master, so she was always into karate growing up, and that's how I feel when she guards me. I feel like there's something else happening here that I'm not familiar with.
Well, you've played with some really good ballers too here in Seattle, and there's some ballers on the team this year, Stewie, but you also played with Lauren Jackson back in the day. Not that you have to choose one over the other, but what is there a cool story that you might have of some of the people that you've played with?
Yeah, you said the best two. So they are by far the best two to play for this franchise. The cool thing happening for Lauren right now is I'm 41, Lauren's 40. She had to retire in 2012. So that was her last WNBA game. So that's, obviously 10 years ago because of injury. So it kind of got taken away from her. She had a string of injuries that were wild. And then eventually it ended with a torn ACL that required a knee replacement. Wow. Okay, so a full-on knee replacement. Lauren just started making her comeback a couple years ago. And currently, literally right now, she's playing for the Australian national team in the World Cup.
Wow.
So it's just a mind-blowing story. I don't know about you guys. I've never heard of an athlete a knee replacement.
Right, yeah.
I'm I got knee problems. The doctor's no, you got to wait 20 years to get that done. So it's her knee must have been so bad.
Right.
And for her to be playing on it is amazing. I'm really happy for her. She gets to have the ending that she deserves.
All right. Hey, Sue Bird, the legend. Clap it up one time. So we appreciate you, everything you've done for this community.